What's up, Andres?
What's going on?
How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good.
Cool, man. Cool. Well, thanks for being on the seven-figure commissions, man. We're gonna talk about making you some more money and increasing
Hey,
your commissions today.
who doesn't want
Sound
to make
good?
more money?
Huh?
Who doesn't want to make more money?
Not you. Cool, man. Well, listen, thanks for being on. I'm super excited. We're gonna have a really solid audience today, and I want to talk about you. We're gonna talk about you. We're gonna talk about your sales process. We're gonna talk about finding an adjustment that we can make and then determining a next play for you moving forward this week so you can make more. But let's start with this, Andres. I know you're insurance premium finance, but there's a lot of different industries watching this, different sales reps, entrepreneurs, agents, advisors. So let's start with you. And so for everyone, real quick before we roll with Andres here, everyone listening to this, if you have KPIs, activities, metrics, measurables in your sales process, and you get paid more if you improve upon those, then this show is 100% for you. So, Andres, let's jump right into you, man. Tell the audience here what you sell and how long you've been doing it for.
Sure. So I work for U.S. Premium Finance, or a division of Ameris Bank, and I've been with U.S. Premium Finance for about 3.5 years. I've been doing this for almost 10 years, and actually a little bit over 10 years. And what we do is we work with independent insurance agents, right? And the process for us is if you are an insured, right? Let's say you're a business owner and your insurance costs $20,000 for your general liability or workers' comp. Well, you don't have $20,000 to pay your insurance premium. Well,
Right.
if the agent's working with me, he presents our premium finance agreement to the client so he can pay his insurance premium through a 9 or 10 pay option. And so
Right.
that's where we come into play. So we don't work with Allstate or State Farm. Those are considered captive agents or Farm Viewer. So it's more of like, hey, Richie Contartesi Insurance in Las Vegas. We would walk in there and present our sales and why you would want to possibly work with us.
Right. Yeah, no, for sure. Like actually, so when I owned a fitness facility, we financed through whatever premium finance that insurance used. And it basically allows us to space it over time, right? As
Correct.
opposed to paying it up front. So cool. Awesome. Good stuff. So Andres, there are insurance agents, I'm sure, that are either watching this or going to be watching this. But let's talk about you and what are the things that you feel like you're doing really well right now in sales? What are some of the things, and let's just even say this week, what are some of the wins that you've had this week? And by the way, for everyone watching or listening, if you have questions, make sure to comment. I can see all of them in this cool little app that I'm using. So I saw someone wrote, hey, hello, all. For some reason, it's not saying the name. I don't know why. But comment, ask questions, and then I'll make sure at the end to get those addressed. But Andres, yeah, let's start with you, man. What are some of the wins for you this week? Because you're traveling right now, right?
I'm in the Westin Hotel off. I'm near Andrews Boulevard because you're familiar with this area, right? I'm in Fort Lauderdale, so I've been on the road. I think this is my 6th consecutive week since the new year. So for me, that's a win. Last year, I only did 25 overnights. And at the end of this week, I'll be at 12. And we're not even through the end of February. So that's a win. One of the other wins was we had our sales meeting, our monthly sales meeting yesterday. And we had one of our new hires, he hasn't even been a year, and he led it successfully. And we did coaching on that. So that was a win. But most importantly, is just planning my week and day. I wanted to make sure today was my running day, right? So I normally like to run while I'm fasting, but if I did that, it would delay myself getting down to Fort Lauderdale. It's about a 3-hour drive. So
yeah,
I was committed. I took the kids to school and down I drove, and I got here to my first agent around 10:55. And I was able to physically go to, I think, 14 agents, but 2 of them were no longer in business, and went to 12 agencies. So for me, that's a huge win, because yesterday being President's Day, it's not a good use of my time. Some agents are open, some agents are closed. So to start off my week with 12 agents seeing is good. Would I have liked to have better conversations? Yeah, but at least I got my information out there today.
Nice. Okay, cool, dude. Good job. I like those. So for everyone watching, can you share your sales process? Like, what are you doing? Like for your sales process, you're traveling, walk them through from, and walk me through from your day tomorrow morning all the way through getting a sale. You're out, you're meeting with independent insurance agents all the way to getting a sale. Walk us through this process.
So what I do is I have a list that I've compiled through the years, and I break it down by zip code. Therefore, I can see more of a concentrated area versus driving all over Fort Lauderdale, Coral Springs, whatever. So I can see more agency in a timely manner. So for me, it's about efficiency, right? At the end of the day, if I could see 14, 15 agency, great. But if I could see 7 and I talked to 7 owners and had great conversations, to me, that's more successful than seeing the 15 and only having 2 quality conversations. So my day is going to I'll wake up at 6:30 in the morning. And the first thing I'm going to do is send out emails from all my visits today, right? Follow-up emails, depending on what the conversation did or didn't, or if I didn't speak to someone, I was able to get contact information and shoot that off. So that's the first thing I'll do. The next thing is go through my Excel spreadsheet and see where I'm at my follow-up process from prior weeks visits, and send second week follow-ups. Okay. And once I'm done with that, I normally get my day started, and I used to like to be right in the door at 9:01, but doing this long enough, I want agents to be able to settle in. So I won't get to my first agency till around 10:15 in the morning, and just start my day off from there and go off my list of prospects that I have and see how many I can see. Normally I'll quit anywhere between 4 and 5. Sometimes it's 4:15, sometimes it's 4:30. If I want to try to end on a good note, I might even push it on 4:45. But that's kind of my process. So at the end of the day, come back to the hotel, detox, maybe read, and then start that process all over again.
So, okay, got it. Love it, dude. And I love the follow-up. I love how you have a system for follow-up. So walk me through your sales, the activities it takes for you to get through your sales process. So you meet with an agent. What are the steps that you take? You got to get to a qualified conversation. Do you book a meeting? From that booked meeting, walk me through how you get to a sale. What's the fastest process or activities that it takes for you to get from meeting with an agent? How do you get that meeting with an agent all the way to a sale?
Well, a lot of times it could be the luck of the draw, right? For the fastest way.
Yeah, but the fastest, like if we were to map out your activities from getting a booked meeting with an agent to closing the sale, what are those?
The fastest is if you actually meet with the person the time I walk in, right? If I went in today and was able to meet with the agency owner, let's say, and premium finance was important to him at the time, and we had a good conversation. I've been doing this long enough that I want to qualify the client to make sure we're going to be a good fit to work with each other, because we're not always the right fit for every agent. So that's number one, right? Once I qualify that client.
But how do you get, if you don't mind me asking, how do you get that meeting? How do you get that initial meeting? Is that something you're booking on the phone, or are you just walking in?
I cold call, walk right in. For my experience through COVID, when I was dialing on the phone, a lot of no's. Hey, we're not interested. We're happy with our premium finance company. I find it more successful just walking in. Yes, you might not get the point of contact that you want to talk to at the time, just because they weren't expecting you. Well, a lot of times they have the time for you, and they'll meet with you 5 or 10 minutes. A lot of times it's, hey, it's not a good time. Please follow up with me and let's schedule a time, right? So I'll use that example. Let's say I walked into an agency in early January. He said, hey, let's schedule a time. I scheduled the time that worked for both of our calendars. and it's for this Friday, the 24th. I have a 10:30 meeting in Jacksonville, so I'll be going over there to try to sign this agency up in person.
Got it. Okay.
It was important to him.
I got it. All right. So you're cold. You're basically cold walking in. You're just walking in the front door. Okay, perfect. So your step is you walk straight in the front door. The second thing is what are you trying to do? What's your next activity?
Well, I give my elevator pitch to either the receptionist, or a lot of agents are, they can see you, right? Some offices are open and there's multiple people. Some offices are just the owner. So it just depends. So I give my elevator speech and go from there.
Okay. And then what happens if you have a good elevator speech? What's the next step?
Well, qualifying, our philosophy is to find out what's important to the agent, right?
Yeah.
When they work with a premium finance company. What a lot of salespeople do is they try to fit people into the premium finance box, right?
Right.
And our philosophy is a little bit different. We want to find out what's important to them and see if what their needs are, we can tailor a program to it, right? Because you could have 3 agents on the same street. And today there was like 7 agencies on the same road, right? And let's say I talked to all 7 of them. We could have 7 different programs for those agencies because their needs are different. Or out of those 7, they might say, hey, we get 15% down and 10 pay on trucking. And I know our bank isn't comfortable with those terms. So I would just say, hey, if you're already getting that, congratulations, good for you. You're not going to be a right fit for us because I can't offer you that. So I can't improve your product. So if anything changes in the future, here's my information. Keep us in mind. But at this moment, we wouldn't be the right fit.
Got it. Okay. Got it. So you're cold walking in, then you're basically doing your elevator of some sort, right? We'll call that a connection. You're actually connecting with someone. And then from there, you're qualifying, right?
Correct.
Got it. Okay. And then what happens from there?
We find out what's important to them, and based on sense of
what's the just for sake of simplicity, what's the next step? Let's say they are qualified. Where do you bring them to the next? Is it an application that they fill out?
So then I ask them, hey, if you would like, we can go ahead and fill out an application that takes 5 to 10 minutes.
Got it.
And if they say, hey, right now I don't have the time, one of working with Coach Zach, schedule the time to do that application. So, okay, if you can't do this today, how about if we schedule it next Wednesday at 1:00, right? And then that's the next step. Or I try to give them options. If they say, hey, Wednesday, then when would be a good day that we could schedule the time so I could walk you through? Therefore, there's no questions and you don't get frustrated filling out the application.
Got it. Okay, cool. And then so what's after the application? So you met with them, you've gotten their application, it's a good fit. What's the next step after an application?
So the next step is I got to do some back end paperwork for us. I get that all in, and then I send them a welcome letter. Copying my account executive, who's my assistant, who they'll be in contact with as well, and then try to schedule a meeting to do some training with the agent.
Got it. Okay, cool. So we do a welcome letter. And then, so the next step is a training?
Correct. Open to the agent. Some agents decline the training. They're like, hey, we've worked with these type of quoting systems. We don't need it. Some are open to it, and we do. So obviously, depending on the level of the agent, if they want the meeting, I do it. If not, we're there for questions. But I want to follow up. I follow up within 2 weeks to see if they have any questions and if they have any business, right? It's one thing to sign someone up, but at the end of the day, I only make money if they're bringing business.
Right. So, okay. So, so that you do the training, and then what's the last step? Like, how do you close?
How do I?
Once they do the application, you send the welcome letter, and then at that point, is it closed, or is there?
Yeah. Once the application's done, it's closed, right? It's just now building that.
Getting the first deal.
Correct. Getting the first deal.
I see.
So at that point, and a lot of times, right, when I walk into an agency, if they're, I'm like, hey, do you have a quote that you're currently working on that I could see what we can offer? Can we quote it for you so you could see the benefits of working with our agency? So I try to show them, hey, the urgency, right? Like, at the end of the day, if in this inflation environment, in this economic environment, and we're in an insurance crisis in the state of Florida. Obviously, there's a lot of people on this call from all over the United States, but in Florida, we're in an insurance crisis where rates are doubling and tripling. My home insurance went from $2,500 to $4,100. So these people are experiencing sticker shock. So what I tell the agents is, listen, your clients are experiencing sticker shock because their premium has doubled, right? Rates have gone up. The Fed has raised up rates 5%. We're a division of a bank. A lot of times our cost of funds are cheaper, so we can be more competitive. This is a great opportunity to see if we can save your clients $20, $30. Everyone wins.
Right. I like that. Okay. All right. I like it, dude. I like how we have your sales process here. I think there's maybe some in-between type steps, but for simplicity of this call, I'd like to get some just preliminary numbers from the last 30 days, right? Just to give us an idea of where we're at. I mean, we like to do everything based on facts, right? So if we can get as close as possible. So how many cold walk-ins did you do in the past 30 days? It doesn't have to be an exact number, right, but somewhere close.
Roughly, I believe like 75.
All right. And how many of those walk-ins turned into a connection with somebody who has some sort of influence?
Let's say roughly around 31.
Okay. Funny rough number. All right, perfect. That's a 41% connect rate. Okay, cool. And how many of those did you get to qualifying of the 31?
I've onboarded 3 clients so far out of the
application. But how many of those made it to qualify? Not application, but made it to qualifying.
Out of if I had a warm connection, all of them at that point would qualify if I had a warm connection.
When you say warm, okay, so let me redefine this. So for connection would be you walk in and you spoke with someone within the business.
Okay, I got you.
So of those 75, how many did you actually connect?
Okay, so then let's go around 15.
Well, it can't be less. You cold walked into 75 offices.
No, right, but you're saying which did you qualify?
When you walked, okay, I see what you're saying. Okay, so qualified 15.
Yeah, if you're saying, okay, if you're telling me out of those, perfect, how many of those like if I talk to a receptionist, I talked to them, right? I had a conversation, but I don't know if we're qualified. Right. Does that make sense? Right.
Yep. So 15 made it to qualifying stage.
Correct.
How many total applications?
3.
Okay. And then how many of those closed?
Well, if it's a new piece of business, then none of them closed. They're all onboarded, ready for new business to come in.
And they all got welcome letters, basically.
Correct.
So you went 3 for 3. Wow, good job. Is that pretty normal? Do you typically go 3 for 3 on those? Not 3 for 3, but do you usually go 100% if they do an application?
Not all. Well, I guess I had a guy fill out an application but it didn't finish, right? And we got it, but it's not complete, so I didn't count that one.
Yeah,
right?
That's why these percentages in each stage are so important. So so we got 3 welcome letters sent. How many of those ended up doing their first deal?
As of now, they don't have any premium finance currently need. Okay. These are up and coming agents or smaller agents that are up and coming versus someone that already has like a big need.
Got it. Okay, cool. So I love doing this because I think it's so important to always know what all the conversion rates, and this is what we always do on a weekly basis, is like, what are all the conversion rates throughout your entire sales process? And this is the one thing that CRMs don't do, is it doesn't give you that visual of all of the different activities, the show rates, the percentages, the conversions between them. So I could look at a snapshot of your process right now. So 75 walk-ins, 31 of those were connected. That's a 41% connection percentage. 15 of those 31 you got through qualifying, which is a 48% qualifying percentage. And then 3 applications. So 3 of the 15, which is 20%. And then 100% welcome letters sent from those apps, which is phenomenal. I think that's by far your best number. Of your numbers, where do you feel like you would want to improve upon the most?
Well, I feel so before this year, right? My follow-up was terrible. So I would only, like, let's say I walked into your agency today, Richie. We had a good conversation. I'm like, oh, I'm going to sign them up. I send the email to you tomorrow, and that's it, right? Yeah, I wouldn't talk to you until I walked right back in, right? Where my accountability coach, we developed a follow-up process where now I send my follow-up and then a week later a follow-up from that if I haven't heard back.
Yeah.
And where I need the next process where I'm sucking, right? I'm failing is we want to do a phone call, right? So if I walked into your agency, I emailed you today or tomorrow, you didn't respond to me, I follow up a week from now, follow up. Now it's okay, doing a phone call like, hey, Richie, I stopped by your agency, haven't heard from you. So that's where I'm struggling, right?
And what if we were to look at the numbers that we just went through, where does that reflect? Because that's it. So if I look at your numbers and I can see your percentages, the process you're trying to put in place and that you're working on, which number does that affect in your sales process? Because your bottom of your funnel is really good.
Well, I feel like maybe the person is inundated with emails that they don't have time to respond. So a phone call might generate another connection, right? Or another qualifying, right?
Yeah.
So that would uptick versus what did I say? We had 15 qualify, and maybe if I make those phone calls, those 15 go to 25, right? Maybe I get an extra 10 qualifies, and maybe I get another 3 or 4 applications. So that's the process where I'm still, I'm on the road a lot, right? And like I was explaining to the accountability coach, I don't want to be in my car making phone calls because I don't have full devoted attention. So I have to develop a process on Mondays and Fridays where I might be on the road half the day, or Friday I'm not really on the road.
Yeah.
And maybe I make 40 phone calls from those agencies I saw the last 3 weeks or the last month and do it that way. Because then the next part of my process is a quarterly email, right? So if they didn't respond to my week follow-up, they didn't respond to my...
And this is all reflected between the connections and getting people through qualification. Getting people from the connection to being qualified, right?
Correct.
That's the percentage we're trying to get up at this point. You're putting the follow-up processes in place, because right now that's at 20%. So if 20% of the people that you talk to get through that qualifying stage, and then from that qualifying stage, only 20% get to actually doing an application. And so it sounds to me like you're more working on the connection, getting more people, your connection percentage up, than getting your application percentage up. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you tell me, do you think that, because you have a 41% connection percentage right now, and you have a 20% application percentage, but you have 100%. If you get an application, you have 100% chance that you're locking that person in. Those are your numbers right now. So based on what we're seeing, where do you feel like will get you the highest return on your time and increase your sales the most?
I think the important key is getting that phone call, adding that phone call in to
improve which conversion. Are you trying to get more applications from your qualifies that you already have, or getting more people qualified from your current connections?
Both. Because at the end of the day,
but if we had to choose one to focus on for this week,
I would focus on the ones from the connections, because those are more likely to to go to qualifying to get into an application versus someone I didn't talk to, haven't heard from, don't even know if they would qualify, right? At least for my connections, I have an idea.
Okay. So how do we get more people from you qualifying them and going through that process to doing an application? Because we have 15 people that you qualified and only 3 people did an application or completed an application. What can we do? Because like your follow-up's good. I love this process. I love what you're putting in place. And you should totally continue to improve your connection percentage. I don't know. My light keeps turning off. You should continue to improve that connection percentage. But if we were to focus on getting more applications, even if you just increased your application percentage to 40, that's 6 letters sent versus 3, 40% versus 20%.
I think the big key is trying to get those agents to do it when I'm there. Number one, right?
Okay.
To close it in person.
Get them to do the application when you're in their office.
Correct.
Okay. So walk me through that. The 3 that did do the application, did they do it right when you were there?
No.
All 3 of them didn't do it when you were there.
Did not.
Then what makes you believe that getting them to do it while you're there is the answer?
I think I got to show more of a sense of urgency that it's going to benefit their business, right? So I have to do a better job closing. Like my elevator pitch and qualifying them is great, in my opinion. Where I got to do better is showing the sense of urgency. Hey, you told me all these things are important to you, right? And we can better your product. So at the end of the day, then, if these are all important to you, why don't we start reaping the benefits immediately now by taking 5 minutes of your time and filling out this application and having your clients ready to go by tomorrow to save money, right? So that's where I have to. A lot of times I'm not, I'm really big, and so I don't get pushy. I don't like to be pushy.
No, you don't want to be pushy.
And so I just have to do a better job of showing that sense of urgency to the agent, right? Because we're all busy, so it's, I'm busy, I'll do it tomorrow, and then tomorrow comes and something else. So if I can't get them then to do it in person, then the next thing, which I haven't been 100% good at.
Well, let's just for sake of simplicity, let's stay right there. What can we do this week, Andres, to get them to do the application in person?
I just have to focus on creating that sense of urgency at the end, right? Okay. Not worry and showing about qualifying them. Once I've qualified them, then focus. I think I get at the end of the day, I get excited, like, hey, we're going to be a great fit. Mm-hmm. And just be like, okay, here's my information. I'll email you the application tomorrow morning, instead of like, okay, hey, you're a great fit. Let's finish the process now. It's going to only take 5 minutes, and everyone wins. Your clients are going to win, and your agency is going to win from it.
So, Andres, in the numbers that you're tracking between qualifying and application, what I would add in here, and I'm going to send you these when we're done. What I would add in here is offers made. And so your offer is to do the application on site. Okay. And so of those 15 people that you qualified, how many of those did you make an offer to and say, let's do the application right now? What percentage of those 15?
Oh, man. I would say probably 10. I don't think all 15.
So out of the 15, 10 of them got an offer on spot to do the application. Okay. And basically 0 took you up on that offer.
0. Yeah.
Okay. Which is pretty awesome, because if you increased that to just 2, you're already closing 3 out of 5 that don't take the offer.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Which is really good. So as we're narrowing this down, Andres, it's how do we get that number to 15, and how do we improve how we're making that offer? So let's hear it. How do you make the offer?
I just got to
I don't know. I like literally like how? Like give me the. I like that, James. I see you, man. Appreciate it. I don't know, Andres. Can you see comments or no?
I can't.
Like,
I didn't. I guess I didn't log in, so I have no idea
no,
what
you're good. You're good.
people are saying. So,
by the way, anybody watching, make sure to definitely, ask questions. I'll get them at the end. But yes, James, I think we nailed it in. So what do you think, Andres?
at the end of the day, I just gotta, like I said, show that sense of urgency and tell them, here, let's fill out the application, and I'll walk you.
Okay,
through
but the question, like, whenever we talk about a next play, right? We have to have the what, the how, and the when for you to focus this week on just doing this one thing. So the what is you're going to make this offer, right? To all qualified people. 100% of qualified people are going to get this offer. Unless there's, the guy's walking out the door, there's going to be,
Right.
It's probably going to be 90%, right? So 90% of people are going to get this offer, Andres. Literally, what's the how? How are you going to make the offer specifically?
I just got to ask them. I haven't been consistent
how
asking them.
But how you do this, your tonality, your body language.
I have to be more confident in doing it.
Okay.
Right.
Can you get so I'm the person, right? I'm with you. I'm the agent, and I'm like, Andres, yes, I'm interested in that. I'm interested in this. Send me everything that you got.
Hey, Richie, instead of sending everything I got, why don't we spend the next 5 minutes and I'll go ahead and walk you through their application. Therefore, if you have any questions, I can go ahead and knock them out. And therefore, we can get you onboarded and ready to go by tomorrow.
Okay. How did you feel you did there?
I thought I did pretty good, honestly.
I think you did great. Could I give you a little bit of a...
everyone can improve. So
I would just say it's just your tonality. And I don't know if it's because we're doing a role play and role plays are hard.
I hate role play.
Everybody watching knows that. But you're sitting back kind of like this with like a monotone. Try just, relaxing, but like use tonality and how you're saying it and be, you know what I mean? Try it again with different tonality.
Okay, well, ask me. Let's
start. So Andres, I appreciate you you coming in. It takes a lot of guts. I think it sounds to me based on what you shared that you can improve my premium finance, and I'd love that. And the cost for my clients. But can you send me over the information and we'll go from there?
Yeah, absolutely, Rich. I could send you, and I appreciate the time you spent. However, we can actually do this application right here in person. We can go to our website, and I can walk you through all the steps to fill out the application. If you have any questions, therefore, I'm here, and we can knock this out. And therefore, your clients can start benefiting from our program immediately. How does that sound?
Yeah, I like that.
Excellent.
I think I caught it. I caught the one thing that I think is going to make a huge difference in your ask.
What's that?
What's the value, real quick? What's the value that you're providing them? What are you saving them?
Well, I could be saving their clients money, or like I said, depending, or I could be generating extra revenue for the agent. It depends what's most important to them.
So you can save their clients money and make them more money.
Correct.
And save them time, right?
Exactly.
Right. And if you sent them a bunch of information, it's going to take them a lot of time to shuffle through everything and do it, right?
Exactly.
So that I'm a huge fan of permission, doing everything permission-based.
Right. Yeah.
Right. So instead of going through your offer or your pitch is basically what it is, we can define that pitch and refine it, maybe make it 2 or 3 steps so it's a little simpler to take in. But what about asking up front the question, look, I know you're super busy, and if I send you a bunch of information, you're going to have to spend a bunch of extra time that you don't have. Would it be okay if I shared with you, would it be okay if we spent 5 minutes and I'm going to save you a ton of time, I'm going to save you a ton of money, and I'm going to save your clients money. I'm going to make you money, and I'm going to save you clients money. Could we have 5 more minutes? Or You could do the opposite approach. Would you be get them to say no? Would you be opposed of spending 5 more minutes where I could save your clients money, I can make you money, and I could save you time? What are they going to say?
They're going to say, sure, let's do it.
Well, you want them to say no. Would you be opposed?
No.
You're just getting them to say no. And then when they do, boom, now you're in. You got 5 minutes, though. You got 5 minutes. What are your thoughts on that?
I'll give it, if I have a great conversation tomorrow, I'm going to put it in.
All right, let's try it. Let me hear it. So, Andres, I appreciate it. You're doing awesome. This is just so you know, everyone watching this knows how hard this is. So you're doing an amazing job. And I'm seeing comments and people are
I'm so glad I can't see people's comments.
They're all positive. But Andres, the reason you're at where you are, man, is because you're coachable and you want to get better, you know, and it's awesome to see, man. And I know there's a lot of people that feel the same way. So, and there's other people that are in similar positions, maybe in different industries, that aren't doing the offer and aren't asking permission. And I hope we're getting a lot of those too. So, but Andres, okay. So, you know, I appreciate it. Send me over everything that you got and I'll get back to you.
Thanks, Richie. You know, I know you're super busy and I could email you this with a bunch of attachments and steps, and I value my time, and I know you probably value your time. Time is money. Would it be okay if I could just get an extra 5 minutes of your time and we can go ahead and knock out this application right now? Therefore, if you have any questions, it'd be a lot easier. We're going to save you time. We're going to be able to save your clients money, and we're going to be able to generate you more money here immediately. And therefore, if something comes up in the future, you're not putting it off. Would that be okay if we do that right now?
Sure. Much better.
Awesome.
Much better. And I think over time, Andres, you're gonna dial that in,
right?
And, you know, because I think there was some extra stuff in the beginning then. But awesome job, man. Really, really awesome. That's really hard to do what you just did. So great job. Really good. So for this week, and you're doing it tomorrow. So what's going to be your play for this week? We're just focusing on this one area. We looked at all your facts. We looked at the KPIs and the numbers and your measurables, and we found one area that would make a huge impact if we can get that up. So what's going to be your play this week?
Well,
what's your next play?
Asking them to fill out the application, but more importantly, asking for permission to do it.
Okay. I love it. And how are you going to do that?
I'm going to close on the pitch.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be like, okay, I'm going to email you the stuff.
Right.
So
cool. And when are you going to start doing this?
Tomorrow. Hopefully at 10:01 a.m. when I have my first conversation.
I love it. So for the how, Andres, because you're already going to do that. If you want, I can give you just a quick suggestion that I think is going to save you a lot of, and will give you the confidence, because that's the big thing. You don't want to go and then he says exactly what I just said, and you look at him and you're cross-eyed because you're thinking about what you're trying to say. One suggestion that I might make is that tonight and tomorrow morning, I know you like to work out and go for runs and stuff, is to just, that sentence is to just write it out and then speak it. Write it out and read it. Write it out and read it. Because when you speak it, you'll probably change the way you write it. But when you say it, you're going to say it over and over and a little bit different, a little bit different, a little bit different. And you'll get to the point where it's like, boom, that's fire. And then at 10:02, when you walk into that office, you know you're going to make that offer, right? You already know it's coming, and boom, you make it. You feel good. You're confident. Your tonality's right? So tonality is a direct correlation of your conviction, and you believe in what you do, right, Andres? Like you
Absolutely.
believe in doing. How long you been doing this for?
10 plus years, I think.
10 years. Yeah.
My daughter's 9, so yeah, 10
years. And you've had clients for years. You service them, you take care of them. So you have that line dialed in and you deliver it with conviction. There's no way they can say no to you.
Absolutely. People like working with confident people.
And do you feel like if you were to write out that line and just read it and review it tonight and tomorrow
yeah,
morning?
absolutely. And it's, one thing, obviously there's a lot of people. I'll probably stumble the first one or two times. It's okay. Because if I don't practice, I'm not going to get better. Right. So I just got to jump in and do it. Obviously, yeah, I can do it, say it and speak it to myself until I finally get extremely confident. Right. Because when Dennis was our salesperson, he taught me a whole different way to sell. And it wasn't easy for me. And I stumbled, but now I deal with my eyes closed.
Yeah. It's because you're a beast. I love it. It's because you're coachable, man. And that's why you have the success that you have. But I know you want to get to the next level. And so next week, let's look at your numbers. Let's look at how many walk-ins, how many connects did you have? How many of those did you get to qualifying? How many of those were an offer made? And then how many of those did an application? And let's look at those conversions between each one of those, and let's measure them. Did we get the 20% application percentage up? Did we get your 41% connect up? But don't worry about all that. This week is just focusing on making that offer to every person that gets qualified.
Sounds good.
What do you think? Feeling good?
Awesome.
You're so relaxed.
It's been a long day, but.
And you're in a hotel, right?
Yeah. Hotel life, man. Day number 11 on the road for me this year.
All right, let me see if I have your day. Hey, man, I thought I traveled a lot because.
Hey, can I give a plug?
Yeah, what's a plug?
Well, so I don't know, but this book, I don't know if you've ever read it, Leadership Simple, Leading People to Lead Themselves. I'm leading this for our sales team. I read it already. Dennis, my mentor, had me read it. Fantastic. And since there are a lot of salespeople on this call, it's a great read. It really motivated me and jump-started me for this year.
Dude, I love that. Nice. Cool, man. I appreciate that. Dennis is the man. Is he better, by the way?
Oh, he's awesome, man. He got that quadruple bypass surgery. And he's like a new man.
Andres, how long ago did we meet? Was it in 2018?
I think so. 2018, about goals.
Yeah, because Dennis, by the way, who was Andres's mentor, was Andres's boss and had hired me to come in and work with their team. This was in 2018?
I believe so. Yeah, it had to be. It had to be 2018. Yeah. Dennis left in 2020. So Dennis left, I think, in June of 2020. So unless you came in 2019, December of 2019. It was
either 18 or 19.
It might have been 19. I can't remember.
Cool. All right, cool. Let me see if we got any. What's up? What's up, Wetmore? How you doing, John? What's up, Peggy? James, 100% okay to stumble. That's how you get good and then great. What's up, Solar Dan? Dan's the man, by the way. Dan's the man. Dan the man. Peggy, practice in the mirror. Peggy, you can see your facial expression. Oh yeah, practice in the mirror. Oh, that's a good one. Let's put this up here. There we go. Practice in the mirror. You can see your facial expressions and body. I like that. Thank you, Peggy. Very good book, Steve. All right, cool. What's up, Megan? I can only see the comments. That's the thing with this app. This is the first time I ever used this app, by the way.
Do you even know how many people ended up being on this? Or no? Do you have that statistic?
I don't.
Through all the platforms?
I just see that they're checked. I mean, I could see who's live at any given moment, but you can't see. Yeah. So anyways, listen, man, you got a next play. You feel good about it?
Absolutely.
We're going to review the numbers next week because you always send them. You submit them every day. But I'm really excited about this, man. I think we understand the qualifying to getting these offers made and having that extra step and calculating that percentage, I think is really important. So everyone listening, look, obviously if you ever watch my videos and follow my stuff, I'm huge on doing everything based on facts and always tracking all of your activities, the conversion rates between them, just like we did on this call. And then it's usually pretty glaring where you can improve. You improve upon that thing over the course of the week, and then we do it again. right? And you do this over and over again. And if you look at the best athletes and people in business, this is what they do. And so I guess you don't have to do it if you don't want. There's other ways to be successful, but I found this to be the timeless way that works pretty much in everything we do in our lives, whether it's fitness, business, whatever. So cool. Awesome. Andres, listen, man, thank you for being on the show and wanting to get better. So
thanks for your time.
Yeah. And if anybody else watching this video live or in the future wants to be on the show and wants to have a session just like this for your sales game or your business, make sure to comment below or send a direct message to myself or someone on my team. And we'd love to get that set up. So Andres, thanks so much for being on the show.
All right. Have a good night.
Adios.